Lesson 82. General Judgment. What is the judgment called which will be passed on all men immediately after the general resurrection? The judgment which will be passed on all men immediately after the general resurrection is called the general judgment. The last or general judgment will take place at the end of the world, but when that will be, no man knows. But for that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but the Father only. After the ascension, angels told the apostles that Christ will come again as judge. This Jesus who has been taken up from you into heaven will come in the same way as you have seen him going up into heaven. Our Lord predicted that signs will precede the last judgment, which he himself described. He will be the judge. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world for a witness to all nations, and then will come the end. There will be a great apostasy from faith. People will lose themselves in evil. Yet when the Son of Man comes, will he find, do you think, faith on the earth? And as it came to pass in the days of Noah, even so it will be in the last days of the Son of Man. They were eating and drinking, they were marrying and giving in marriage, until the day when Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. In the same wise will it be on the day that the Son of Man is revealed. Antichrist will appear and work false miracles. St. Paul speaks of the man of sin, the son of perdition, who opposes and is exalted above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he sits in the temple of God and gives himself out as if he were God. What will take place on the last day? On the last day, these events will take place. The earth and the heavens will show signs, the stars will fall, and the heavens the sign of the Son of Man will appear. It is believed that this sign is the cross, and then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Jesus Christ, in great power and majesty, accompanied by the angels, will come in the clouds of heaven. For as the lightning comes forth from the east and shines even to the west, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be, and they will see the Son of Man coming upon the clouds of heaven with great power and majesty. The dead will spring to life in a moment. All men, their souls reunited to their bodies, will come to judgment. Behold, I come quickly to render to each one according to his works. And he will send forth his angels with a trumpet and a great sound, and they will gather his elect from the four winds. From these statements we are not to conclude that everybody will perceive the divine essence at the day of judgment. The wicked can never see God. The lost souls will see God beyond some kind of veil, so that they do not delight in his divinity. They will have some kind of perception of his majesty and recognize his justice. If everyone is judged immediately after death, why will there be a general judgment? Although everyone is judged immediately after death, it is fitting that there be a general judgment, in order that the justice, wisdom, and mercy of God may be glorified in the presence of all. The last or general judgment will be a public repetition of the particular judgment. The judge and the matters taken up will be identical. Then Jesus will bring to light the hidden things of darkness. And I saw the dead, the great and the small, standing before the throne, and scrolls were opened, and another scroll was opened, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things that were written in the scrolls. All men and all angels, good and bad, will be present to hear the judgment of each one. For there is nothing hidden that will not be made manifest, nor anything concealed that will not be known. Then will the unjust say these words as they consider the just. This is he whom once we held as a laughingstock, and as a type of mockery, fools that we were. His life we deemed madness, and his death dishonoured. See how he is accounted among the sons of God, how his lot is with the saints. What did our pride avail us? What have wealth and its boastfulness afforded us? All of them passed like a shadow. Our Lord will place the good on his right hand and the wicked on his left. To the just Christ will say, Come, blessed of my Father, take possession of the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. To the wicked he will say, Depart from me, accursed ones, into the everlasting fire. Immediately the good will go body and soul to heaven, and the wicked will fall body and soul into hell. And these will go into everlasting punishment, but the just into everlasting life. The general judgment is necessary in order to vindicate God's providence in the government of the world, and to disclose both the good and the evil that men have done, in order to reveal God's justice, wisdom, and mercy. Man is a social as well as an individual being, hence the necessity for a general as well as a particular judgment. On that day will men see how often God has granted them graces, and they have rejected them. Then will men see how much that took up time and thought on earth was folly in the eyes of God, and how what the world called nonsense and mocked was really heavenly wisdom. As St. Paul says, "We, for our part, preach a crucified Christ, to the Jews indeed a stumbling block, and to the Gentiles foolishness." To give the just the public honour due them, and the wicked the public shame they deserve, and to make the body share in the reward or punishment of the soul with which it shared good or evil on earth. At the last judgment all our thoughts, words and deeds, public and secret, will be made known to all creation. This fact should urge us to avoid anything and everything of which we should then be ashamed if made public. When we are tempted, let us remember that the hidden things of darkness will be revealed on the last day.